at least talk about it, address it, and see what we got going on. But now let's go ahead and get into the NBA Finals, where Boston Celtics are up 2-0, won both games at home. Now we can move into Dallas. I think, is it on Thursday or Wednesday?
Game is on Wednesday, tomorrow, 8:30. Yeah.
And it's on ABC, I think, this time. So game 3.
Yeah, all the games are ABC.
Yes. Excuse me. So, CJ, we talked about we talked about game 1 already, didn't we?
No, we did not. It was on Thursday.
Okay, that's right.
No, we did, yeah.
Okay, so game 1 happens. Kind of a little bit of a lopsided game, even though the score doesn't, 89 to 107. It was basically all Boston. I think, 4 minutes to go in the game, some of the starters were already being subbed out.
Right.
Second game, it, of course, ended last night, 105 to 98 in favor of Boston. Kind of the same stuff. What are your thoughts on the first 2 games? We'll get going on a little bit in a second.
It's going to be tough to stop the Celtics. They have the best starting 5 in basketball, and what the main thing is now when you add Porzingis into that starting 5 or into that lineup with Drew, Tatum, Brown, and White, you just can't double anybody. Just can't double anybody. Somebody's going to be open, and if you do double somebody, somebody's always going to be open, and you have to double Brown. You have to show at least on Brown and Tatum. You have to. It's just that has to be a part of your defensive game plan. If not, you're insane. So Jason Kidd is doing that, but the guys that they have around Brown and Tatum, Drew Holiday, I don't get it for these other 20. Let's say 23 teams. Let's say like 7 out of the 30 teams, because usually it's around like 7 teams that you say really probably will win the title. For about 7 teams in the NBA, why did no one try to get Drew Holiday? You let him go to the Celtics of all teams. When I said, remember what I said? I said they needed a point. Remember, like in the summer,
yeah,
it was like they needed a point guard, and you let the Celtics get Drew Holiday. Miami dropped the ball. Listen, I get it from Milwaukee. I know hindsight's 2020. Everybody wants to say, "Oh, this, and that." Everybody has something to say now, but I said it was a good trade for both sides. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I said it was going to be a good situation today. It didn't work out. We'll see what happens next year. But okay, Milwaukee. Who else? Philadelphia would have got him. Are you kidding me? Maxey, Holiday, and Embiid. They would have beat the Knicks. No question. No question. And through and through. But you know the way the Knicks were getting hurt, Philly would have probably won that series. Indiana, of course, that's what they need, a shooting guard. We're still waiting for Mathurin to develop and turn out to be that starting guy. Nembhard showed some flashes in the playoffs. I was really impressed by him in the playoffs by Nembhard. Aaron Nesmith too, but if you had Holiday with Siakam, Halliburton, Miles Turner, they're a better team. You can even go to the West. Let's go to the West. You telling me if Holiday on the Nuggets, they splat, they destroyed Minnesota. They destroyed Minnesota. If you put Holiday with Denver. So just the fact that Milwaukee gets rid of Holiday and Holiday's just on the mark, and there's nobody but the Celtics are really made a viable, good offer to acquire Drew Holiday. That just doesn't make any sense to me. And I mean, we said it in the preview. Who's going to be the X factor? I said it's going to be Drew Holiday because of the defense, and he could get 17 plus any given night and lock up your best player. which he's done a really good job against Kyrie. I have to give it up. Kyrie's my guy. Everybody knows that. But Drew Holiday is, one of my favorite players too. And we said last week, I was like, listen, he's another championship here. He's one of the most impactful players in the last 10 to 15 years. It's a fact. Celtics in 6 was good, my guy. It was good. Celtics in 6. So you think, you got Dallas winning a couple? Okay. I'm shocked. I'm shocked coming from you, bro. Big Celtic fan. I thought he was gonna say gentleman sweep, but Drew is just a difference maker. We saw it in Milwaukee, and it would have been incredible if they were able to keep Dame and Drew with Giannis, but it just wasn't gonna work out that way. Porzingis coming back too. Porzingis and Holiday, the two guys they brought are the difference makers in this series, really, because now Lively, I like Kyrie. Everybody loves Kyrie, right? Everybody loves Kyrie. I know he's struggling right now, but everybody loves Kyrie. I got to take later to maybe make things go better if you're a Maverick fan out there, but. Lively has to come out the paint. Gafford has to come out the paint, and they're not accustomed to that on an every night basis, on a game-to-game basis. They're used to sitting in the paint. They may show a little bit, and they may come out a little bit situationally if they have to hedge on the screen and times like that. But in terms of always being on the perimeter, they're not accustomed to that. So that's a different type of adjustment, and the adjustment you have to make in the NBA Finals. Like you're in the paint the whole season. 3 rounds of the playoffs, and now the NBA Finals. Oh yeah, you got to go guard this guy that could shoot from 30, and he's 7'3". Good luck. Stay out of foul trouble though.
Yes, that's been a problem.
It's been a problem. It was a problem for Lively in Game 1. I was disappointed in him. He had like 5 fouls, and I'm like, brother, they need you out there. They need you out. It was like 72-64. I'm like, Luka hit a 3. He was kind of talking to the crowd a little bit. I'm like, listen, okay, they could try to come back. Lively came in there, had like 2-3 turnovers, a foul. I'm like, you cannot do this on the road. It's impossible. They're sending 3 people to help. Yeah, of course. They have to. They have to. And I don't know why they sent it 3, but at least show with 2. But even when you do that, they make the most threes. They take the most threes. And what are you gonna do? And this is what I'm not really that shocked. I am a little shocked that it's 2-0. I thought it would be 1-1 going back to Dallas. I did. I felt like Game 2 was definitely the opportunity for Dallas. It was a low scoring game for the Celtics. It was a low score up and really until they kind of had a surge in the 4th, which kind of made that score look like what it was. But I thought Dallas was going to be able to at least get one in Boston, since Boston has been around 500 at home in the playoffs over the last few years. I thought if any team could do it, it was them. They were 7-2 on the road going into Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Now they're 7-4, right? So I think, like you, Lively, he shows too much, and isn't as fast. And running back to the corner, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's just, but again, he's not in the corner though. He's up on the screen. When we run, I'm in the corner. We play 3-2. I'm in the corner because I can rotate to.
Wait a second. Is this on live?
Is this live? Yeah, this is live. Yeah.
No. I'm saying on YouTube, your CJ versus the world.
The rotations. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Because
on your 3. I'm a fan. I watch this 3-2.
Yes, sir.
Yes, so this isn't real life. You can't get to the corner. This is your build can't get to the corner. Okay, I'm following this now.
No, yeah. So it's like, the build. Yeah, exactly. but even that, if I don't get to the corner, it's because I'm ball watching. I know why I'm not getting to the corner, because I could definitely get to the corner if I wanted to. If I locked in on the corner, and if someone drives to my side on the right, I could show and still be able to get back. You have to be able to start and recover in the NBA. You can't do that. You can't play. Like, basketball, whatever it is, you got to be able to stun and recover. I know we talk about that every week, but it's facts. It's just fact. If you're going to talk about basketball, especially against the Celtics, you have to stun and recover.
Yeah,
because if you don't, it's up. It's 40%. The whole team.
Well, let me ask you this, if you don't mind. like we said, it's a pick and fade instead of a pick and roll, and they've always been setting for a roll basically. And now they got a shooter, which it's a new thing that's coming. We know that. And Porzingis is ahead of the game as far as your bigs at that 3-point shooter. So with the stunt and recover, if you're that big guy that's hedging the screen or coming off of that, are you really challenging the shot, or are you just trying to get a hand up to deflect the vision? Because he's 7'3", you're not challenging or altering that shot at all. So would you rather him just have the look, or just kind of come with your hands at his face there instead of trying to get yourself out of play? Because then you're up in the air if he pump fakes you and it's a dunk. So what would you be doing? Because to me, Porzingis is streaky. He hits a few and he's going to miss a bunch. And so, I mean, yes, you have to respect him, but I'm not going to be going all the way out there, jumping out of the gym, like chasing it, trying to block or contest the shot. I'm just going up there trying to cause a scene and maybe get him off focus.
Right.
And I feel like Lively a lot of times is skying out of there, and it's like, well, you had no chance anyways. And now you can't rebound. And Porzingis is coming down to rebound. So to me, that's grade school stuff. But I just want to hear from you, from, CJ versus the world, getting to the corners guy.
Yeah, I mean, they might have to make that adjustment and put Lively in the corner. They might have to go 3-2 because again, they play. It's like
this is what we talked about too. Run that zone.
Yeah, like they don't run 5 out. But again, all five of their players shoot, so this technically is a 5 out. And so yeah, you put Gafford. I put Gafford and Lively in one of those corners, probably PJ Washington in the other corner, and Luka, Kyrie, and Derrick Jones up top, and in those top zones. And again, you still got to rotate. Because if Lively or Gafford help in the paint, whoever's on that hash respectively, they have to rotate to the corner. So that's what they have to do. I mean, seriously.
What if Lively was on top and Luka was at the block to let him rest on defense? Because really Tatum is cooking him. He's trying to physically body him to stop the drive, but then he crosses over or spins back and he's on his hip and he's taken to the hole. So what if Luka went down to the corner to rest some and you had Lively where they almost cut the court in half? You're not guarding the ball, but you're splitting it over there where you try to keep it on one side and trap constantly.
Right. Yeah. You're using his in the zone. He's using his size to take up the space of the zone at 7 feet tall with the wingspan. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that's good. I think they should do that too. Yeah. Actually, I'm a fan of that because like you said, it keeps Luka out of foul trouble.
And the lack of defense. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like he's not an elite. Everyone. Yeah, exactly. Too slow to rotate, but I feel like it's a shorter rotation in the corner. So I mean, damn, brother, if you can't rotate to that corner, like it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen this year for 77. Because if you can't rotate to that corner.
Yeah, because more than likely it's Drew Holiday or even Derek White that's in the corner. That's a 6'5", 6'6" guard shooting when Luka, stop the penetration and then can stunt and recover. He's 6'7" and can jump. So I mean, he has at least a chance of challenging that shot better than he is playing Tatum man to man.
I would have probably Porzingis. Lively in the same zone as wherever Porzingis is at. So if Porzingis is on the left hash, right hash, that's where Lively will be. Again, not guarding him, but still using your side. If you do feel like he's about to shoot, and you're right, just you have to make smart contests. You can't jump out to the sky at him because one, he can knock down his free throws. And you can get a flagrant if he doesn't land the way he's supposed to land. The referees will call that flagrant foul. So now you're looking at one shot and a possession against that team. Can't do it. That's too many possessions. That's a possession they should not get. And you gave it to them. It's impossible. So their bigs have to be smarter. Their role players have to play better. But I think going back to Dallas, I think those two things will happen. And I'm gonna go on a limb. I'm gonna say Dallas ties it up.
Ooh, two.
Yeah, I want to see a competitive series. I don't want to see a sweep. I don't want to see. We saw 5 games last year. I want to see some type of back and forth. I mean, we all hyped this up. Exactly. We all hyped this up to be one of the most competitive series in a very long time on paper. That's what it's looked like. And even throughout the games, you're like, yes, the Celtics are winning because they do have the better starting five. Everybody knows that. But the games, I want to see Dallas get a couple. Let's make this a real series, man.
Well, let's be honest, and I'm going to kind of switch us out here while I talk on this part, because
good.
Let's be honest. Dallas has not played up to their potential yet in this series. And it's a 2-game in Boston where some of these push contacts or stopping the driving person, like there's one play where Porzingis has his whole forearm deep into Luka's chest to try to stop him from driving. And the ball literally dribbles twice before he picks it up and shoots a 3-player contested shot and doesn't get a foul call. If that's in Dallas, it's probably 2 fouls have been called during that time. One at the check, basically the body check, and 2 for free throws as well. So some of these calls are going to be a little different. The push in the back for P.J. Washington on the block that happened there, it's probably going to be called in Dallas. I'm not saying foul or not foul should have been called. I'm just saying at home court, there's some difference. We know that. When it comes to a 7-game series, it's not really a big advantage, even if you're up 2-0, unless you win a game on the road. So, it's a chess match. They're supposed to protect their house and win these games. Now we're going to Dallas. They're supposed to protect their house and hopefully win these 2 games. So I'm right there with you. Kyrie, man, he was so out of his head because of the way the fans treated him. That's all you can say. 12 points, I think, the first game, 16 points the second game. And then you see the clip that's on X, formerly known as Twitter now, that while he was warming up pregame for the game 2, it had the stats above him on the big screen of the worst scoring outing from him in his career or something like that. I can't remember what it exactly said. So he's out here shooting by himself, and that's on the big screen. That's great trolling by Boston. He was trying to do too much, in my opinion. And really, Dallas looked better when Kyrie was coming on in the fourth quarter. So I look for Kyrie to have possibly 30 points in this game coming back to Dallas, have his fans on his back, being in that positive attitude, and he's going to be coming in and showing us what he got. Because when he's doing his stuff, Luka can't be doubled like he is. And then also PJ's not been knocked down 3 like he has been. He's not been making a lot of his shots. I think it said one stat earlier that I was listening to from 3-point line. They were like 12, no, not even 12, like 7 of 27 or something like that. It was something that's just bad, and you took Luka out, and it dropped even more. So Dallas's role players aren't playing up to what they should be playing. Like we talked last week, I was saying Keebler may be the guy to step in, or even Hardaway. Keebler got minutes because of foul trouble. Lively definitely needs to be the guy that needs to be out there constantly, in my opinion. A couple of lobs here and there. I mean, if you're setting a pick for Luka and he's still not getting the double team because Kyrie's not doing anything, but now he finally is, you can kick the Luka or to Kyrie. He's one-on-one. Lively comes back over, sets a pick. It's almost a double pick for a pick and roll there, and then all of a sudden you got the lob for Lively on the dunk. We need to be seeing these plays. It's almost like Dallas is playing catch-up the whole time. Even though they have been behind the whole time, it's almost like the stress of catch-up. Like each possession, oh my goodness, we have to, oh man, we didn't score. This is horrible. And Luka, to me, is having to do too much. You got Kyrie who can't. I really think P.J. Washington, and yes, it might be because it's a Kentucky guy, but I feel like P.J. Washington needs to come out this next game and say, hey, my goal is to get the first 4 points, run it through me, let them have to be on me some, and help the protection for you guys. If I'm scoring a couple quick baskets, they're saying, oh, he's coming to play today. Let's tweak your defense. PJ is open in the 3, or he's down low. Let's back to the goal, couple dribbles in, spin to the outside layup. I mean, he barked at Brown, I think, once when he missed that 3. He came back and wrestled for the rebound and dunked, even though they were down by like 12. It was not the time for that. But he's at least trying for that, okay? So if PJ comes in, gets a couple quick baskets, Luka can feel a little more comfortable. Kyrie comes in, score. Like, to me, the first 6 possessions are going to go PJ Washington and Kyrie to see if we can get them going, and then Luka's just going to eat when he needs to. That's what I'm hoping for with their players for the Dallas side. And I think game 1 definitely is going to be Dallas' favorite. Now, I do hear you. I don't see the comments when I'm talking. I do say PJ isn't that guy. He doesn't have to be that guy. He just has to be that third option that's going to score a couple of points. We know he was traded away from Hornets because the Hornets were there and he couldn't be that guy there. But if he makes 2 threes early in this first half, or has a couple of just dog baskets where, rebound putbacks where I'm just muscling up and scores, that's going to change a little bit for him. And you can't have Kyrie trying to go through 4 picks, getting double teamed, bouncing off bodies because no one's hitting. But if PJ knocks down, if he has 8 points in the first half, it's a win.
Yes, yeah, it's a big one. It's a big one. Like I said, you expect the role players to play better at home, but Kyrie definitely needs to improve. We need to see at least 2 games from both of them getting 60 combined. If not, this is going to be a rough series for that. It could be a quick series for Dallas if they need to get a 60 point combined game for sure between those 2 guys. They haven't been able to do that the first 2 games. Got to give the Celtics a lot of credit, and it's a fact because usually opposing teams, when they go up against Dallas, they feel like, oh man, I have to get a good possession on here because you got Luka and Kyrie and they always get good shots. With the Celtics, when Dallas goes up against the Celtics, they're better at that than Dallas because they have more players that could score and do more that you have to account for on a possession by possession basis, right? So that's an adjustment for Dallas. They're not used to being that type. They're not used to being the team that has to necessarily play perfect, because when you're the team that everybody expects that's going to always play well, sometimes just that psychology within itself, you don't even have to step on the court yet. But that psychology for the opposing teams, like, oh man, we got to go out there and make sure our positions are crisp, efficient. Sometimes that could put reverse pressure on a team, and they don't play well, and you end up helping, a team like Dallas with 2 great scorers, and they're not even really doing anything yet. And as I said, for the Celtics, it's you have to worry about that every single possession because anybody could get off. We've seen Derek White have 30 in the playoffs already. We've seen Tatum and Brown hit 30. That's what they do. So what was that comment? That was said? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Celtics did the same thing to Kyrie in Brooklyn.
Yeah. It's again, they have the personnel to make things tough for Luka and Kyrie, because usually again, Kyrie and Luka, they're used to going by one guy, and then that guy at the second level is usually not that good. But for the Celtics, that second level is Tatum and Brown, and the first level is Derek White and Jrue Holiday. Then the third level is Porzingis. So it's just you're seeing the crowd that they're used to seeing, like, oh yeah, okay, that guy's over there. That's easy. I can still get over here, get to the spot, get the shot up easy. But now when you go up against, oh no, Tatum's over there. Oh, now but Holiday's on that side right now. Where should I go? Now seconds are coming off the shot clock. Now you give it to Luka, and Luka got to do, make magic happen. It's not good basketball. That's not good basketball. That's stagnant offensive possessions, and you cannot do that against this team. That's why they're down 0-2. Which is why I said, what, D. White?
Well, it was going to be him this year.
It's going to be him this year. Yeah, his development is really a great story. I mean, no one. He was solid in San Antonio. But if you told me when he went to Boston, when they made that trade, he was going to be as impactful as he is right now, I would have said, yeah, okay. and in that series that Sean is talking about, when they went up against the Nets, when they swept Brooklyn that year, he was getting wide open shots from 3, obviously because the attention that Brown and Tatum draw.
Right.
And he was like, kind of like 33, 34%. The next year gets better from there. I'm someone you didn't believe day one, bro. Come on, stop it. Yeah. You telling me as soon as they made that transaction, you was like, yeah, he's going to be shooting 37% from 3, averaging 15, could be a top 60 player in the world. You did not see that. Go on, stop the cap, bro. But yeah, nobody saw it. Nobody saw it, bro, except maybe the Celtics. That's it. After the fact.
No, I don't think they saw it.
No, I'm saying after, like maybe like in
Oh,
practice,
after.
seeing him like in practice those hours that we
Okay.
don't see. Maybe they like yo, this guy wants it even back then. But yeah, his IQ is exceptional. I mean, it just you go some guys second year. Come on, second year for sure. His IQ, man. Some guys get to the league and it doesn't work out. Like they're still trying to figure it out in the first couple of years, and then they end up on a good team and they don't know what to do. They don't know how to fit. They don't know how to make it work. He's done that. He's done that. He's gonna make a lot of money because of the things that he could do on the court on a night-to-night basis. He's just a perfect starter. To me, I don't even. There's some guys like you call a role player, and then there's other guys that you just feel like are better than role play, even though they are role players. You just don't want to call them that because sometimes in some situations it's kind of like a sometimes disrespect. But he's an excellent starter. Just again, the IQ. Like, listen, I need to knock down my threes if I want to play more minutes. I know what these guys brought. These guys draw two. That means I'm going to be open. I need to make my shots. And sheesh. I mean, he's been lights out. And then again, like as I said earlier, like then you go get Drew Holiday. Like, come on. It's
I want to ask you this: who's been better as far as Boston side, Drew Holiday or Brown?
If you were talking about the entirety of the playoffs, I'll go Jaylen Brown. If you're talking about the entirety of the playoffs, just the first two finals. The first two games.
Come on.
Yeah, listen. I mean, it's between Brown and Holiday. It's close. It's close. I mean, I think both of those guys are top two for Finals MVP. It's crazy. No, we're not even saying Jason Tatum, and they're up 2-0. This just goes show the type of depth that they have, man. They don't need Tatum, but obviously they need Tatum, but they don't need him to play great every night. Can't really compare to have two different roles, but I mean, there still is going to have the decision to be made Finals MVP. So even though they both have different roles,
Drew Holiday's defense is kind of hard to put a stat on, and he's been great defensively.
Amazing.
Even a couple Derek White with a couple of blocks as well. Including with Holiday. But Holiday had 26 points, I think, yesterday.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
It's like your fourth option.
Yeah.
Or third. It could be a third or fourth option.
It's 2D, basically, with this team. Like, instead of 1A, we got like 2B, C, and D on this team. Like, it's crazy.
Exactly.
But Tatum has been averaging almost triple-doubles as well. Tatum has learned to – I'm not saying he couldn't pass, but he knows that in the situation what's going on, the easiest thing to do is to make that pass. I think he had 12 assists last night. Got to go check the stat before I misquote, but yeah.
And it's funny too that my guy said that because I told him, I said Tatum was going to have to be more of an all-around player going into next year. So he has to be more of an all-around guy. Triple double. He should be like. I'm not saying he should. I mean, if he could average a triple double if he really wanted to. I mean, he's 6'9", and he can do everything on the court. Like he could definitely average a triple double if he wanted to. But yeah, he needs to improve as an all around player. And when you put better players around him, his IQ is going to increase because the trust with his teammates is
CJ,
going to increase.
This is your own account. This is your burner account, man.
CJ,
this is not a real.
He'd be better if he was a playmaker role. Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's the perfect situation. That's not a burner account, man. We just talking hoops.
Yeah, no.
We just talk basketball on my side, bro. look, free hands. I'm not telling nobody to say nothing, man.
There's no comment come up yet either. So, but I mean, I'm just looking. The crazy thing is that Boston really doesn't even have to worry about a bench. Of course, you have Horford and Porzingis that are interchangeable. Porzingis coming off the bench, 12 points, and then Pritchard has 3 points, 12 minutes, and then another one with 10 minutes. I mean, everything they have comes from their starting five, basically 6, if you want to just say starting 6, because Horford and Porzingis is whatever. But last night, Tatum with only 18, but 12 assists and 9 rebounds, almost that triple-double. Brown, 21 points, 7 assists with 4 rebounds. Holiday, 26 points, 11 rebounds from the guy that's up top, first-level defense up there, guarding either Luka or Kyrie, whoever it is. Comes down and gets 11 rebounds with 3 assists. Then White with 18 points, 5 rebounds. Like, it's a team effort on that. And then, of course, Horford only has 5.7 rebounds. Like, let's be honest, Porzingis is the starter. Horford's just the rotation.
Yeah, of course. Closing lineup Porzingis if he's not in foul trouble.
Right.
Definitely. It's going to be in there. Holiday, he just wants it, man. And
what a great story for Holiday, too.
Oh, yeah, great story. Great story.
Mm-hmm.
Great story. That's what makes them. They don't need it. They really don't need a bench because you can mix match 3 out of those 5 and just put them with 2 other guys coming off the bench, and it looks like a viable team in the East. You put 3 of those guys in the starting 5 together, going up against a second unit. It's pretty much just like the first quarter.
So let's go ahead and switch over here since we kind of jumped into Dallas and then now we're over here on Boston. So let me ask you this question. Will Dallas avoid a sweep? I know we kind of already said that we thought that they win both of these, but is it more because we want that, or do we actually think that they can avoid this sweep?
I think they can. I think they can. They definitely have the talent. They definitely have 2 players that have the ability to win 2 games in this series. I'm still confident in saying that. I know people on TV are already going to write these guys up. That's what they do. It's secular. Like that's all they do. It's just one moment it's they're the greatest ever, and the next moment is they suck, trade everybody. I still think Dallas has enough to win 2 games, but it's not going to be easy. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Like, yeah, they're just going to go out there and win, but I think they're going to battle it out, make it tough, and try to get 2 on at home. So I do think they avoid a sweep. I think Luka and Kyrie have one of those special type games, either in Game 3 or in Game 4, and we'll see what happens after that. But I definitely think they will win 1 game, and I think if it needs to be any game, it definitely needs to be Game 3 tomorrow.
Yes. Now, one thing I hadn't thought about, we talked about it all season long, but you got here, did make a comment. I seen it a second ago. Boston plays better away on the road. Is that going to come into factor here, that they're actually a better road team than a home team?
Now, of course. I'm saying it's not going to be easy. Like, I'm not saying like, yeah, they're just going to go out and win just because they're at home. It's the best team. I mean, they went 64-18. So
not 65. You also said that.
Not 65. I was one. They took a game off. They took a couple of games off at the end.
Game. You were so wrong. Pretty close.
But yeah, this team just, man, they should win. They should win the chip, obviously. But again, I guess I just want to see a competitive series. And I just want to see some really good basketball in the middle of June. That's all I'm asking for. That's the last series of the NBA season. I would like it to be something exciting to watch. That game against the Knicks, not even that game against the game against the Knicks, and then another team I played too, where I just took the gas off the pedal and just it was clipped. It was clipped, and you just gave up on it. It was a couple losses like towards the end where you easily could have got like 67, 68 wins.
Well, I'll say this real quick. I agree with you. I don't think they're swept here. I do think they win 2. I hope it's 2 back-to-back here. It could be win 1, lose 1, win 1 at Boston. But I also want to talk to you about this if you don't care, because Dallas is a good team, and I think they're built very well here. Of course, Mavericks too, he says. Are they just a couple of guys away from being right back in this next year? And I'm not saying that it's over. Obviously, I'm not saying it's over. Dallas has 2 of the best closeout players in the NBA right now. We understand that. I'm not trying to act like this is Boston's championship, but Dallas, what do they need to do to improve this lineup? Let me just say it that way. For next year, moving on, and can they get back to the NBA Finals if they do lose this series?
What do they need to improve on? I think Lively needs to get better for sure. I mean, they have a pretty solid roster, man. Like that small forward, power forward position, PJ Washington, Derrick Jones Jr. I mean, they're going to be big. I mean, they have to definitely continue to develop and get better because the West is stacked. So just because you got to the finals this year, as we saw with Denver, doesn't mean you're going to get back the following year. So those guys definitely need to improve. They can improve their bench as well. I think they have some good players. I like Josh Green. I like Dante Exum coming off the bench there. You know, there's some good guys, but you could always get better there. Like I said, they have a good roster. They have a good roster. It's just not better than the Celtics roster. That's really what it boils down to. It's just levels, and the Celtics starting five is just levels above Dallas.
I was just looking through the draft. Dallas has one pick in this year's draft, and it's the very last pick in the second round. So this is definitely not coming that way. Of course, we know now Dallas is possibly going to be a landing spot for some free agents. They need a third guy.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
I mean, do you think the advertising that went on last year asking for a certain player to come to Dallas might actually happen?
I think it's possible.
And, of course, if you all know who I'm referring to, obviously it's LeBron James coming back to play with Kyrie in Dallas with Luka. But, man, that would be tough.
Like, if they were able to pick up LeBron and not gut their roster, yeah, why not?
Well, it's free. Well, money-wise, I guess. But I was going to say free agent.
Right. Yeah, but But the money you could gut the roster because of the contract, too. So, yeah, like they're able to get LeBron.
Oh, man.
And still keep some depth because again, this guy's still 30, about to be 40. Like this is not 2013. So, yeah, sure. What?
This would be LeBron winning. I'm gonna say this. So whoever your guy that's in the chat, that's really your burner account that you're doing this. Please don't come at me. I don't mean it as hardcore as I'm saying this. This could be LeBron winning those rings like the Robert Horry. Like, hey, I'm on the team and I'm still producing and being relevant, obviously. But Luka and Kyrie are the guys on this team still. Like, I'm great.
Not in the playoffs.
LeBron's going to – well, I mean, every one of them can really take over.
Exactly.
But at least through the season, he can definitely put it, like, on cruise control for forever.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. I mean, it could prolong his career. I mean, if they was really to make a move like that, but
yeah,
I don't want to get too far ahead. I don't want to get too.
Side.
Yeah, I don't want to get too far ahead of that. But they definitely do need a third guy. They definitely do. It could be Paul George. Like it could be any. It could be whoever.
Dude,
I think Paul George maybe be a little bit better because he's better off the ball
and defense.
Right? So. Against a team like the Celtics, and they're pretty much they're going to be their starting five for the next 2 years because you gave Drew Holiday a 3-year extension, you gave Porzingis a 2-year extension. Obviously, Brown signed for 5 or 6 years. So this starting five is going to be intact for the next 2 years. So the rest of the teams in the NBA, especially the ones that are close, have to definitely improve that starting lineup. No question if they want to compete with this team. Dangerous.
If Paul George ends up in Dallas, I may have to say I'm a fan. Sorry, Phoenix. Sorry, Phoenix.
Yeah, that's
that would be tough.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice for sure. But that's Philadelphia, Dallas. Both teams could definitely use a guy like Paul George for sure.
Whew.
Because I do think at this point he's probably better as a third option.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Plus you can say, hey, we need your defense. Don't worry so much about your scoring that we know you can do. We just need you being a 3-and-D while still creating as much as we need you.
Exactly. Still being, elite.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm just, again, on no trade clause, looking at Dallas real quick here. As far as their maximum cap space for next year, they're a negative $27 million. But But in 25-26, they're in the green of $76 million. I'm sorry, I lied to you on that one, of $38 million. So
I mean, that's a player right there.
Yeah,
you get
in
a good player with
25-26.
Yeah, you get a good player with that type of bread.
And I don't know. Oh, I guess it's people are coming off the contracts, but the 26-27, it's $124 million.
Right. So
they lose Tim Hardaway that year.
So they can move off Hardaway and free up some of that cap space earlier than that. He hasn't really been in the rotation. He's been in and out of the lineup because of defense, and also he's been injured. So listen, I think if you're able to free up some cap space for him, get a guy in there that actually could be on the court, and help the team win, especially during these moments, for that type of contract, that type of money or less is a plus. So they can still be able to do some things to get the cap and get it to where they want it, to where they could potentially get a guy, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.